What's going on, guys? My name's Josh and I'm back today with another movie review. Today I'll be reviewing the new movie Malignant that just hit HBO Max and is in theaters. Now, I gotta say, this movie is crazy, but I did have a lot of fun with it. Now you better watch out because it's time to get this review started. Let's go. For anyone watching this video, thank you for watching and thank you for the support. And if you could do me a favor and please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Malignant is a 2021 supernatural slasher directed by James Wan, and this movie just hit HBO Max and is in theaters. And the film stars Annabelle Wallis as Madison, Maddie Hassan as her sister Sydney, George Young as Detective Shaw, and the plot of this movie is Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities. So going into Malignant, I actually didn't know anything about this movie, but I'm a huge horror fan, so as soon as I heard a new horror movie's on HBO Max, I'm all in, and I gotta say, I had a lot of fun with this movie. This movie's definitely crazy, definitely bloody, and I will say that the first, part of the fun of this movie is the first, 2/3 of this movie, you don't really know what's going on, and you're trying to really solve the mystery, and I think that's part of why this movie is fun, trying to figure out what's going on, and also, it gets revealed in a twist in the last act of the movie that was really fun, and I just gotta say, I enjoyed the whole ride of this movie. And I will say though, if you have not watched this movie, I definitely would recommend stopping now, watching the movie first, because that is going to be part of the fun of this movie, is trying to figure out what's going on and that twist. So if you haven't watched it, definitely will check it out first, because this video is going to have spoilers. So what did I enjoy about Malignant? I gotta say, I really enjoyed the ride of this movie. So first, this movie opens up where we see a bunch of doctors, first of all being murdered, and them saying, we need to remove the cancer from this patient. I didn't know really what the patient was, if it was something supernatural. Later then, we see a time jump to our main character, Madison. She's married, she's pregnant, and then we see her husband push her against a wall, and she hits her head. Shortly after that, then we see her husband get murdered. Madison goes downstairs and she sees what murdered her husband, and it almost looks like a ghost. It almost reminded me of The Grudge. It chases her upstairs. Still didn't really know what was going on. And then later, Madison starts having these visions of all these people dying, and she's watching, the murders. And I didn't know if it was something supernatural. It's later revealed that, Madison had a imaginary friend named Gabriel. So then I'm thinking, okay, is it Gabriel doing the murders? Her imaginary friend somehow come to life? Or maybe it's a ghost, maybe it's a demon. I honestly didn't know what. And then what made it more confusing was when, Detective Shaw ran into Gabriel. Him and Gabriel were physically fighting, and he's physically chasing Gabriel up and down, going on a chase after Gabriel. So the fact that he could physically fight Gabriel, then I'm thinking, okay, is Gabriel an actual person? What's going on? I definitely was super confused and just really trying to figure it out, but that was a lot of fun. And I gotta say, these murders were definitely really bloody, definitely really violent, but it was just a lot of fun. And I will say that once it was revealed that what Gabriel was, so Gabriel was her parasitic twin, that blew my mind. I did not see that coming. And when they first showed Gabriel on the back of her head, it was crazy looking. First of all, he looked creepy. And yeah, I just did not see that coming. And what made the twist even more cool is once it was revealed that, Gabriel is her parasitic twin, he was taking over her body and kind of making her do these evil things. That's why the doctor removed him, but they could not remove all of Gabriel. So once they removed what they could, and then once her husband actually pushed, Madison in the wall, that's what awoken Gabriel. And now Gabriel is taking control over Madison and trying to get its revenge. And once we see, this is revealed, we see then Gabriel take over Madison's body. And I gotta say, the visuals of that were just really, really cool. Seeing, Gabriel's face in the back of her head and the way he would take over her body, where he's taking over her body from behind. So you see his, killer face, and then him taking over her body and Gabriel moving almost backwards, just made for a super cool looking killer. Super cool slasher killer. Definitely super unique, and this movie definitely it has its own story, and I just really love that as well. And I love the way Gabriel moved, and once we saw him as a killer. But ultimately, like I said, I had a lot of fun with this movie, and really, I love that this movie it's unique. It's a unique movie, and I love that, you know, it took a new twist on a slasher movie. So what didn't I like about this movie? So first I gotta say, this movie's not gonna be for everyone. So for me, I'm a huge horror fan, so I had a lot of fun with this. But if you don't like blood, you don't like violence, you don't like horror movies, you're definitely not gonna like this movie. And I think part of the fun of this movie is you have to be invested in wanting to solve the mystery, and then you're trying to actively solve the mystery, so that when a twist is revealed, it just makes it more fun. But I think for some of the people, though, is because you don't know what's going on in the movie, I feel like it's going to lose some of its audience. So where some people will start watching this movie, they're not going to know what's going on, and they're going to want to quit this movie before, they're not going to be invested in solving the mystery, so they're going to quit watching it before the twist is revealed. So I think to really enjoy this movie, you got to be invested in, you know, trying to solve the mystery and trying to figure out what's going on. If you're not invested in this movie, then I do think you're not going to like it. So like I said, this movie's not going to be for everyone. What else didn't I like about this movie? So one, I got to say, the acting, parts of this movie is not good, especially in the beginning of the movie. The characters are not necessarily, you know, great characters. But the one thing I would say that could really, to me, while I did have a lot of fun with this movie, I think what could have made this movie a little bit better, well, another thing I gotta mention, it's not that scary. To me, I didn't get scared at all. But one thing I think that could have made this movie better is, so Gabriel is a killer. We see Gabriel, he has these conversations with the main character, Madison, throughout the movie. And I honestly think that kind of hurt the movie, because we're seeing Gabriel talk so much, we're seeing his personality. It just was cheesy at points, and that took away from Gabriel being scary. Where if you look at, I feel like if he didn't talk as much, then maybe Gabriel would have been more scary and it could have been more terrifying. Like if you look at Michael Myers, for example. Michael Myers doesn't talk at all, and he's so much more scary because he doesn't talk. Where you look at this movie, Gabriel, I feel like, is talking throughout the whole movie, and it just it comes off cheesy at points. So I feel like if they did less of Gabriel's personality, and it would have made him more intimidating. That's my take on there. But overall, like I said, I had a lot of fun with this movie. This movie is a fun slasher movie. But what do you guys think? Did you check out Malignant? What did you think of the twist? Did you guess it? Did you know what was going on? Please leave your comments below, and thank you so much for watching.